democracy if people don't have a right to speak?
David Shebib.
David Shebib.
David
David
Shebib.
Shebib.
David Shebib.
David Shebib.
Hello?
Good day, is this Mr. Shebib?
Yes. Hi.
It's Constable Fulmer. I wanted to let you know that I have hooked up the recorder and it's running right now. I'm going to do a little introduction for court purposes. I'm going to take your interview via phone in file number 2016-16769. It's January 23rd, 2017, and the time is 11:10. And it's regarding a report of a theft of vehicle that you made in November, on November 16, 2016. I understand that you wanted to provide a statement.
Yes?
Okay, can you tell me the story, I guess, about this incident?
Yes, all right. I imagine you have that in front of you as well?
I do.
All right. So I'll repeat it. On September the 1st, Stephen Ewert was driving my vehicle, and he was stopped. There was another passenger, another licensed driver in the vehicle, and they were both stopped, and the vehicle was seized and sent to West Shore Towing because he did not have a driver's license. On October the 14th, I was sent a registered letter, which I did not accept for reasons which I could state, but I did not accept it. I understood that having that letter delivered to me was acceptance that I had received it, and I was expecting West Shore Towing to follow the Warehouseman's Lien Act in the disposal and holding of this vehicle. They, on September the 18th, sent that vehicle to the scrapyard. I had made calls to them which were unanswered, left messages which were never responded to, and then I proceeded with a charge of theft against them on November the 16th. I feel that what they did was not proper, not within the law, and I expected the law to serve me as well as them in this proper execution of the Warehouseman's Lien Act, and neither the police nor them obeyed that law. And so I am now in a situation where I had to file a private information, which I've done, and I'm in court on the 26th of this month. And I wish to pursue these charges against West Shore. I believe that it was unconscionable of the police to give them my vehicle when they openly display a sign saying that they are not responsible for vehicles that are left in their care. And I think that that is something that should be stopped. And I hope that the courts will listen to me and give my case a hearing, and that justice will be done.
Okay. I have a couple of questions for you. You said that the vehicle was driven by Stephen, and what's his last name?
Ewert, E-W-A-R-T.
And he was unlicensed, and he was stopped by whom?
By the Department of Transport.
Okay. You were talking about your vehicle. Can you describe that vehicle for me?
It was a 1983 Chev dump truck.
1983?
Yes. Fully functional and insured and registered to me.
Dump truck? Okay. What's the value of that dump truck?
I would say it's about $5,000.
Okay. And who informed you that it was seized and towed?
Stephen did.
Okay. And when did he do that?
The same day.
Okay. And did he tell you where it was taken?
Yes, to West Shore Towing.
Okay. And what did you do when you heard about that?
I did not do anything. I understood the seizure, and I understood at the beginning that it was for 7 days, and I was going to wait for the 7 days and retrieve my vehicle. When this was the second offense for Stephen, and so then it required a 30-day impound. So I was waiting for that to be up, and then I was going to make all attempts to retrieve my vehicle the most efficiently way I could.
Okay. Did you have any conversation with West Shore Towing?
I had a conversation with West Shore Towing.
Do you remember with whom and when?
David, I don't know. I do not. I think it was November the 16th.
Yeah.
And yes, I had a conversation with him. I expected.
Did you have any conversations with West Shore Towing between the time it was seized and the time it was disposed of?
Well, yes, on November the 16th, as I said.
But on November 16th, you reported that it was stolen because it was already discarded. That's correct?
Yes, that's correct. No, you're right. I had a conversation prior to November the 16th with him. I believe it was on in September.
Okay, and what was discussed at that time?
The vehicle was under the Warehouseman's Lien Act, and I expected them to follow the procedure under the Warehouseman's Lien Act, and it's quite clearly laid out what their procedure is. And that was my information at that time, and still is my information, that they did not follow that procedure, and they acted expediently and sent my vehicle to the scrapyard.
What were your wishes very specifically? You're referring to that act, but what did you expect the tow company to do?
There is a procedure in the Warehouseman's Lien Act. I have it here in front of me if you're not familiar with it. Mm-hmm. They have to send out only one thing that they did do was send out a registered letter.
Yeah.
They send out a registered letter. Then they're supposed to wait 2 weeks, and then they're supposed to put notices in the paper stating that the vehicle will be sold by auction to recover the debt owing on it. And
you said that you didn't accept their registered letter. Can you explain to me why?
Because I don't have to accept a registered letter. There's nothing that says I have to. I was fully understanding what was in the registered letter, and the Warehouseman's Lien Act was what they would have to state, the procedure to be followed in this event where they had my vehicle and there were charges owing on it. Mm-hmm. That was what was in the registered letter. They refused to give me a copy of it after I asked them for a copy of it. And in several phone calls that I made to them to express concern over my vehicle, they were not answered, and I spoke to a message machine there and stated my concerns that I would like my vehicle, and they never responded to that. The law it states the procedure. Now, if you're trying to evade the law, then acknowledge that. And if you're to enforce the law, then enforce the law.
So, was it also discussed that you would pay daily fees for storage of your vehicle?
I was aware that there were daily fees for the storage of the vehicle. That is correct. Mm-hmm. That is not the point.
Discussion about
excuse me, Constable.
Fees?
Is the law to be followed?
But did you have any discussion about the fees for storage of your vehicle?
Why is that of any concern?
There was also some potential mention that you had sold the vehicle. Is that correct?
No, I told him I was in process of selling the vehicle, but it had not been paid for. The vehicle was fully registered to me, and it was fully insured by me.
Okay.
Now, I would like to ask you: Are you prepared to follow the law as stated under the Warehouseman's Lien Act for the procedure? Or are you saying that the towing company does not have to follow that act?
Well, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just here to get your statement about what exactly was discussed and what your wishes were. And you are telling me that you had a conversation after your truck was towed. You had a conversation with David in September, and you informed him that you wanted him to follow the law as explained in the Warehouseman's Lien Act. That's correct, right?
Are you saying, are you speaking for David, or are you speaking for yourself?
I am not speaking for David. I am just summarizing what you just told me. The statement is going to be transcribed and presented to Crown. And the other thing that I just wanted to mention, you mentioned it's a 1983 Chevrolet dump truck, and the value you thought was about $5,000, correct?
Correct.
And it was driven by a Stephen Ewart, and it was seized by CBSE because he was not a licensed driver. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else that you would like to add to your statement that you want to be forwarded to Crown?
I would like to ask you, do you follow the law?
Sir, my opinions on this are not part of this.
So you do not have you have a job? You're police?
Sir, I'm asking if you would like to add anything to your statement.
Yes, I'd like to add that you did not do your job. That you negated the law, and you acted in favor of the establishment that had seized and stolen my vehicle as well as my private property.
Okay.
And you are in league. You are now collaborating.
To what occurred?
You are now collaborating.
I'm going to conclude your statement. If you want to put in a complaint, you can do so, but that should not be part of this interview that is going to be forwarded to Crown in court.
No, I did ask you if you followed the law, and you would not give an opinion on that? That sounds rather strange.
I'm going to conclude the statement. The time is 11:22 hours.
Yes.
Okay. I will have this transcribed. My personal opinion on this file is not of interest because I'm not dealing with this complaint other than taking your statement and forward it. So, if you have any further questions, you can contact me, or you have my email.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kathy.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the call.